Yeah, okay. So today's topic is going to be, let me close this, and all of this. Okay, today's topic is tables. So what do you know about tables? What are tables?
Table?
Yeah, tables.
Like generally tables are just like things that you use to put stuff on.
No, no, not that table. Basically, the table that you see, on maybe websites or on maybe mobile applications. And not that table, like not table and chair kind of stuff. Like the way to represent the data. How do tables represent the data?
Like they make like
Wait.
a
Let
row.
me show you. Let's say I'm gonna say tables and HTML. So basically, tables are a form of representing data, but it's in a form of like rows, and we have columns. We have rows and we have columns. So what are tables? Tables are basically a way of representing data in an organized form, in an organized way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just like we have headings, we have paragraphs that convey some data. Similarly to that, we have tables that do the same stuff. But again, tables basically accommodate a lot of data. And when we move towards backend, most of the backend is basically based upon these tables. When you want to show data, like a lot of data, you use tables. Why is that? Because tables can accommodate a lot of data. Like they can hold a lot of data. Okay. So basically, it's a fairly simple topic, but again, it's really important when it comes to backend. So let us start. So let me create a new file. Let me open Notepad, and after opening Notepad, let me save this document. Let's say I'm gonna save it in the desktop, and I'll name it tables.html. Okay, so now we have this tables.html file. Let me split the screen. Okay, so let me write the hierarchy HTML, and then inside the HTML we have head, and after the head we have the body, and inside the head let us have a title. So this topic is important in the context that the thing we are going to study next is, it's called basically a backbone for your websites. Why is that? Because all of your layout is basically dependent upon the topic we are going to discuss next, and that topic is going to be fairly easy if you were to understand this topic, this tables topic, because we have a lot of tags in the table part. Okay, so what we want to do now is, at the moment, is we want to create this table. Let me copy this image address and open it on the bigger screen. Okay, so yeah, we have this table now. So table basically have two things. We have rows, like rows. Let me draw this on the screen. Yeah, we have like rows. Rows are basically your vertical part. Okay, and we have columns. That is your, sorry, not the vertical part, horizontal part, and the columns are your vertical parts. Table basically only has two things. We have rows and we have columns. So can you tell me how many rows does this table have? How many rows do you think this table has? Uh-huh. I want you to see it again.
Four.
No.
Four.
Four, exactly. You have to count this one as well. Okay, one. The second one is this, two, three, and four. What about columns? How many columns do we have?
Three.
Three, exactly. Very good. So let us start creating this table. So in order to define the table, you have to obviously write the tag of the table. Okay, so just by writing this table, you have now basically access to rows and columns of the table. So table is divided into two parts. Just like HTML, it's also divided into two parts. So what do you think those two parts are? What should we call this one? The top heading, the heading part. What should we call this one?
Horizontal.
yeah, we can call it horizontal, but for example, I've just said that tables is basically like HTML. Like HTML has two parts, table also has two parts similar to HTML. HTML
Meaning like the top is the heading?
exactly, good. So just like HTML has head and HTML has body, right? Similarly, table has head and table has body as well. So we have to define the head and body for the table as well. So how do we do that? We're gonna write the head and we'll write the head closing. Okay, so this is the head for the table. In this case, the head for the table is name, job title, and email address. So basically, the headings for the columns is your T head. And after T head, what do you think we would have? What do you think after the T head?
T body?
Exactly,
You
good.
mean like the
Yeah, you're gonna have T body. Okay, because it's going to represent the table's body. Okay, so this is our basic layout for tables, just like HTML. Okay, inside, now this part is really important. Now inside the T head, I want everything to be aligned in a row. If you were to look at this table, name, job title, and email address are all part of T head, right? But all of them are aligned in a single row. Yes, is that right?
yes.
Okay, so how do we do that? Like, how do we align them all inside a single row? So we have a tag called TR. What do you think TR would represent?
The row?
Yeah, exactly. Table row. Okay, so TR and TR opening, TR closing, but make sure you are writing this inside the head because we are representing this part. Okay. Okay, so inside the TR we have number of columns. So how do we define number of columns? We have another tag TH. Just like I said, it has a lot of tags, but it's going to make the stuff we are going to discuss later on, it's going to make it easier. So inside the TR we have another tag TH. Now this TH represents the columns. Okay, TH stands for table heading. Okay, basically this part. So again we're going to write the closing tag for th. Okay, so what do you think this th is going to hold in, this first th? What should we write here? I want to recreate this table.
The first column?
Yeah, the first column. What does first column says?
The name?
The name, exactly. So what should we write? We're going to write name. Good. So inside the same row, you have to be inside the same row because all of this is a part of the same row. So inside the same row, make sure you're not outside this row. We want to write another column. We want to create another column. How should we do that? How do we create columns? Just like the name. Right. Exactly. I have to write th again. So this th is basically going to create the columns. Okay, and th is being inside the tr would mean that both of these are the part of same row. Okay, so let's say I'll do it again. Okay, I'll revise all of this again. So rest assured. So I'm gonna say job title. So I want another column, and it should be inside the same row. What should I do?
We just write th.
Exactly. Where do I write it? Where do I write it? You're right. We have to write. Yeah.
You want to do it under the job title?
Exactly, good. Under the job title, but inside the same TR, because all of them are the same, basically belongs to the same group. So I'm going to say th again, and I'll write email address. Save it. Go back to your website, and if you were to now refresh it, we have this name, job title, and email address all aligned in a single row. But it doesn't look a lot like a table, right? Why is that? What do you think it doesn't look like a table? Because table has borders and stuff, yeah? So, exactly, it should represent a box. So this table basically takes up an attribute called border. Okay, it's built for the table. Border equals to quotation marks, and we'll say, let's say 1. 1 represents 1 pixel. So what it's going to do is, it's going to put border on this table. Okay, I think we should do it again. Let's do it again. I'm going to remove all of this, I'll save it, refresh it, and now I want you to dictate me everything. Like I wanted to create this table. You have this task, like create this table. How should I do it? What's the first tag? Tag.
The table tag?
Exactly, good. The table tag. And this table has how many parts?
3.
No. No. How many, basically, how many parts this table is divided into?
3.
No. Think again. Just like HTML.
2.
Two, exactly. And what are those two parts?
TR.
The head, the head part, and after the head part we have what?
T-bar.
Exactly, the bar. Yes. So this is your basic layout for the table. Okay. So inside the T head, we want to arrange these three in a single row. What's the tag for that?
TR.
Good. TR. TR represents what?
Table row.
Good. Table row. So inside the table row, we want to have columns. What's the tag for columns?
Was it
The tag
was
for
it TDH?
TH. Exactly. Good. TH. TH standing for? TH stands
TH
for?
is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
table, the heading.
Yeah, good. Table heading. So the first one is name. So I want to write this job title. Where should I write it? After the TR or inside the same TR?
Inside the same one.
Exactly, good, because these two are part of the same thing. TH, TH, and I'm gonna say job title. Okay, inside the same TR, we're gonna say TH again, and email address. So save it. Go back to your. Oh, okay. There's another shortcut I want to teach you guys. So basically, I'm inside the this tab. Okay, I want to go to the next tab, but again without touching the mouse. Do you know about the shortcut? Like I am in the notepad. Now I'm in the Chrome. Like I want to go to this tab, this one, because my website is built in this one, but I don't want to touch the mouse. So the shortcut is Control, and then we have page down. Page up is going to make me go to the previous tab, and page down is going to make me go to the next tab. Okay, if you were to write page up, press page up again and again, it's going to navigate you to the previous tabs. Page down, control and page down is going to navigate you to the next tabs. Okay, there's another shortcut. If for example I want to move towards this second tab, I don't want to press page control and page down again and again. What is the number of this tab? The second one. Obviously, I said the second one. So what's the number for this tab? It's the second one. So yeah. So we'll press Control 2. It's going to take me to the second tab. If I were to go to the, let's say, this tab, what do you think I should say?
For the second one?
The last one. The last one.
Show 7.
7. So Control 7. It's going to take me directly to the 7th tab. Okay, but if you don't want to count it, you can. No, it's not working here. Okay, so anyways, so if I were to say save and then refresh, now we have this table which doesn't look a lot like the table. So what should we do?
Add the border?
Yeah, good. Where do I add the border? In the T head?
No, the table.
Good, the table. So basically border is the attribute for table, but later on we're going to remove it because we want to style it custom. So I'm gonna say border and then 1. Save it, refresh it. Now we have this ugly looking border which we're gonna design it later on. Okay, so now we have this border. Are we clear on this table head part? Is it okay? The table head and the table rows and columns?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay,
okay.
great. So now we want to create this part, this one. What is this part?
The second column?
Yeah, no, this one. Wait, let me highlight it with the Let me drag this. How do I drag this? I can drag this part. I'm talking about this one. Can you see the green line? No. It's not the column. This one was what? The top one?
The body.
Exactly, the body. We now have to move towards the T body. Okay? Because this part belongs to the body. Let me undo this. Okay, inside the T body, I want to create this first row first. What should I do?
You need the name,
Yeah, I want to write the name, the job title.
or you can remove the TH rather than.
No. First, before the
You
T.
need TD.
No. Before the TD, I want to align them in a single row. What do you think the tag should be?
The table order.
No, I want to align them, the name, the job title, and the email in a single row. I'm basically pushing on that word I want you to say. I want to align them in a single row.
CR.
Yeah, TR. TR. First of all, if I want to align them in a single row, I need to put TR. Okay, so inside the TR, now I want you to look closely on this part. This one is bold. Is this bold?
No.
No, it's not bold. Okay, so TH is basically for highlighting the heading, the main, highlighting the text. But this next part isn't being highlighted, so basically the thing we're going to use is for the columns, for the body part, it's not TH, it's TD, representing table data. Now what's the difference between TH and TD? What do you think? What's the difference?
TD is table data.
Exactly, so what's the difference? Like what's the difference between
Would be, it's the heading, so it would be bold.
exactly, good, very good. So because it's TH, its heading, it's going to be bold. This is TD, that is table data. It's like a paragraph, it's not going to be bold. Okay, so that's the main difference. So TD opening, TD closing, and inside that first TD, what should we write? What's the first thing the table is saying?
So
The name, yeah, Anna Fitzgerald. What about this one? Where should I write this? The staff writer, the job title.
under it,
Under the table row.
the name.
Yeah, under the name. Here, inside the same row. Okay, because I want them to align the same row. And the second one is the job. The job is staff writer. So what about the email? Inside the same TR, because all of them are the part of the same group.
Thank you.
Yeah. PD again. PD. Company.com. Now save it. Go back to your tab. Refresh it. Now we have a body. Can you see the difference between these two? This is bold. This isn't bold. Simple as that. Okay. So now I want to get to this one. What should I do? I want you to think before you answer. I want to do this. What should I do? Like
We start with the second column,
column?
meaning like the second name. So
Mm,
it would be,
yeah.
would it be TR again?
Exactly. Very good. It's going to be TR again because this is a completely new row. But my question is, where should I start the TR?
Would it be in the body?
In the body, exactly. Like here in the T body, yes. Where in the T body? Like in
After TR?
exactly after TR, because now we want to write a completely new row, so it doesn't have any concern. It's not concerning this first row. Okay, this is something previous, and now we want to create a new row. So after this closing tag, we're gonna write TR again because this is a new row. Okay, so inside the TR, what's the next tag?
The TD. T.
Good, the TD. TD, and inside the TD we're gonna say,
TD is inside TR, right?
yeah, TD is inside the TR. Okay. John Smith. TD and TH are inside the TRs. Okay. But the main difference between these two is the TH is bold and the TD is not. Okay. So inside the same TR, we are going to write again the job title of this one. So make sure you're inside the same TR, and again TD, and we'll say marketing manager. What about the email? Where should I write the email? Here?
The same one? No, in the same one.
Exactly, go in the same one. TD, and I'll write example 2 at company.com. Save it. Go back to your website, refresh it, and now we have 2 rows. Okay, what about the third one?
But the third one, you have to start another column. I mean, another
Yeah, another
part.
row. Okay, so after this row, we're gonna say again TR. Make sure you're outside this the second row. Okay, after the closing tag. Otherwise, it's going to create everything after this, which we don't want. So inside the TR, we have TD, and the TD is saying Zendaya Grace. Okay, there's another thing I want to tell you guys. What if I want to remove this G? How do I remove this G? What key should I press?
You want to remove it?
Yeah, I want to remove this G. Only the G part. How do I remove this G? Like, how do you erase something, remove something? Backspace, good. But what if I want to remove this G, but from the, before it, like not after it? If I'm here, I can put backspace and it's gonna erase it. But if I want to remove G, but from here?
Just press the front arrow.
Okay, yeah, but this isn't an optimized approach. So if you want to delete something from after that character, you put backspace. But if you want to delete something before that character, you put delete. You press delete. Okay, so it's going to remove from before the character. So this is a really handy shortcut. You should memorize it. You don't have to memorize it. You're going to memorize it yourself. Your brain is going to do it for you. Okay, Zendaya Grace, and after the name, we're going to do again a TD and CEO, and again TD, and we'll say example 3, it shouldn't say 2, company.com. Save it and refresh it. Now we have this proper fully working table. Okay, did you guys like get the basics of this table? Like how do we do it? Okay, great, because now we are going to create some really amazing one. Maybe this one, no, not this one, this one, like very stylish one. Copy image address, and I'm going to paste it here. Why isn't it showing me the whole thing? Where is it? Let me find something really amazing. Yeah, how about this? Okay, let's create this one.
It's too small.
Let me copy this image address, and we can paste it in the URL bar. It's gonna maximize the width of it. Where's the copy image address? And paste it here. Yeah, is it good now?
Yeah.
Okay, so first let's focus on the table, and then we can move towards the background. Okay, let's create this one first. I'm gonna remove all of it, and let me generate the boilerplate. We have 2 parts. inside the head we have the title, and title is going to say tables. Okay. Okay, what should we do? Just focus on this one at the moment, the table only. Okay. Okay. What do you think? The first thing.
Do you have to do the table border?
No. First we have to create it first. Then we can move towards the designing part. Okay. So how should we create this table? What's the first tag for creating a table?
T head.
No. Before the T head, there's something else. You're forgetting the main thing.
A table.
Yeah, the table. The table. And inside the table, we're gonna have the head. Okay, and what else we have inside the table?
Um, we have
T-body.
T body, good.
not T-body. Yeah.
T body. Okay. So inside the T head, what should we say? Like how many? First of all, tell me how many rows do we have?
4.
No,
5.
5 exactly. You
Oh,
have to
I
count this one as well. The head is also a row. Okay,
yeah.
so I want. And how many columns do we have?
3.
Yes, good. 3 columns. So I want to have the serial number, the name, and the type to be aligned in a single row. What should I do?
You have
TR.
TR, good, very good. So let's TR. Okay, inside we are in the head part. Okay, I need you to remember we are in the head part, and head and body. The starting with the head and body is going to be different. The tags also. So inside the TR, the tag we are going to write is
TH.
good. TH. Okay, TH, and it's going to say SR, that is video number, and let's put a hashtag as well to give it a good design. What about the other
Should I
column?
copy this?
Sorry?
Should I copy this?
Yeah, you can copy this. Let's say
Why
copy
did
it.
you put the hashtag? That's not in the table.
Yeah, just for the designing purposes. It doesn't have to be like exactly the same. That's what I was asking from you. You don't have to, exactly copy the thing, although it should be like that if the client provides you with the design. But if you are if you are designing an independent thing, you can style it according to yourself.
Okay, so you wrote serial number 1, but I mean, so you wrote serial number hashtag. You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
write the
yeah.
1.
So these were basically the difference I was talking about in my text, like these
Oh,
simple differences. Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay, so okay, I need another column. How do I do that? Like I need now the
Um,
name column and the type column.
So TR.
No.
under that.
Under that, what should I write?
TH.
TH.
TH. Good. TH, and let's say, and if you are now good with if you are now getting all of this, you can just copy it, just like Mr. Adil here said that you can copy all of the row and you can copy paste it again. But I should suggest for as a beginner, as a starter, you shouldn't do that at the moment. You should write everything yourself. So once you're good with it, you can copy paste it. It's gonna save a lot of time. TH. Okay. And the last one is saying type. Save it, go back to your website. Okay, now we have these 3 columns. So how do I put the box around it?
Table border,
Good. Table, and then
border,
space. Good. And then border equals to, and let's say 1. Now we have the border, although we are going to style it according to the image. Okay, now I want to move towards this part. What is this part?
body,
The body. Good. So inside the body, let me give some space first. Yeah. Okay. Inside the body, the first thing is
TR,
good TR, because I want to have I want to create this, so it's in a row. So we're gonna say TR, Okay, inside the tr, which tag should we write?
T8.
Good. Yes, and the first column is saying what?
1.
1, yeah, and inside the same row, make sure you inside the same row, and you'll say
Is
fortune.
it T8
Sorry?
or T8?
Oh, yes, you're right. We should have TD because it's table data. Good. It's table data. Fortune. Okay. And for the last column, again we're gonna have PD, and it says SUV. Save it. Refresh it. Okay. So now if you don't want to go over this again and again, you can simply copy this row because now we have another row. So we're gonna go outside this row. But to save our time, you can copy this row, get outside this closing tag, and simply paste it. All of this row. Copy it, paste it, and now you have another row. Okay. If you get it like completely get it, you can just copy it. But if you have some doubts, then you should write it yourself. And then we have HARRIER Harrier. Again, it's an SUV. I'm gonna copy this row again, give it some space, make sure it's inside the body. Change some stuff here, and we have what with desire, and its type is sedan. Again, I'm going to copy this row outside. Now we have how many rows? 4 rows for the body only. And meridian, and it's SUV. Save it, refresh it, and now we have this table. Okay, the structure is complete. Now we should move towards the designing part. So how do we start the designing?
For our table.
Yeah, for our table.
Style.
Yeah, where do I put the style? Where do I have to put the style?
The head.
Sorry?
The head.
The head, yeah, the head. After the title or before the title?
After.
After the title, good. After the title, we are going to put style tag. Okay, so first thing, no, I'm not gonna tell you anything. You guys are gonna tell me what's the first thing we should do, because you now can call yourself developers. So what's the first thing we should do?
We have to put the color.
No, you have to look at the big picture first. The color can come afterwards. What's the big picture? Not the big picture in this case, like this one, the table one.
The heading.
You have to, yesterday we discussed that how should you use your style. First, you have to start with the parent. So the heading and the colors, they are basically going to come afterwards. But the first thing we should focus on is the table itself. If you were to look at our table, it's basically like really small. So the first thing we should do, we should make it, bigger. How do we increase the size of this table?
The width.
Exactly, good. So the first thing is, we haven't given any names, yeah, so let's give some names. So I'm gonna say, how do we give names? Just to an element. Yeah, class, and then
Space.
no,
Element.
what should we write?
I wrote it down.
Yeah, equals to, yeah, and then quotation marks, good. And yeah, you should write it down because it's gonna help you a lot. As starters, it's gonna help you really a lot. So you should write everything as I'm, teaching
Yeah, we
or
wrote everything down, but when
Yeah.
you ask the question, we go back and read it.
yeah, no, it's all right. For starters, it's completely all right. But you should write it down. It's a good practice. Really a good practice. Okay, so let's say we're gonna say, what should we name it? Uh, let's say maybe my table. So are these two classes or is this one class? Yeah, it's one class. No, it's one class. If there were to be a space, then we would have two classes. This dash basically makes it one thing. Okay. So how do we target the classes?
Dot.
Good. Dot and then the name of the class. Okay, the first thing you said very good is basically we want to increase the size, so the property is width, and let's say I'm gonna say 30%, maybe 40% maybe. What does this percentage refer to?
Okay.
Exactly, very good. The parent. Percentages is always relevant to the parent. So who's the parent of table? Who's the parent of the table?
Class.
No?
Body.
The body, yes. The body. Table is enclosed in the body, so basically it's the parent of the table. So save it, refresh it. Now you have this table, but again it's not that big, so we're gonna save 50%. But there is a really interesting thing, you know. Okay, so can you guys see this table? And can you guys see the width of it? Okay, I am going to maximize my screen here. What happened here? Like, did it just increase its size? If I were to reduce it, if I were to split my screen, it's small. But if I were to maximize it now, it increases in size. How come? How is it
Because of
possible?
the padding.
No. What do you think? Why is it happening?
Is it because of width percentage?
Exactly. Good. So we've put width to be 50%. Now if you were to look at the body in this case, like if I'm splitting my screen, the width of the body is like half of my PC screen, right? So it's taking up half of the screen that is currently open. Okay, but if I were to increase it, now the body increases in size, so the child changes its width according to the parent. What we said here is that your width is 50% of whatever the parent is. So if the parent is small, the child is small. So if the parent increases, the child also increases. Okay, is it clear? So basically what's happening is the percentages basically changes according to the parent. If the parent decreases, the child decreases also. Percentage parent increases, the child increases also. So what
So
if,
what is the percentage for this? 50%, right?
yeah,
So if we change it and we may either we increase it or decrease it, the parent and child will do it together.
exactly, yes, that's exactly the point. If I were to, let's say, if I were to write, let's say 10%, I'm gonna decrease it a bit so you can get it more clear picture. So this is the 10% of the currently open website, because this is half the screen. So if I were to increase it, what do you think is going to happen?
It will also decrease.
Decrease or increase?
It will actually
Increase. Yeah. If I were to increase the parent's width, the child width also increases, but again the 10% doesn't show much. So let me go with, let's say, maybe 20%. Save it. Now we have this. If I were to increase it, the child increases as well. Okay, so my question to you guys is, how do we fix something? Like, I want to have a fixed width on the smaller and the larger screen. How do we do that? Sorry?
Is it auto?
No.
uh,
Think of something else.
like it will be the width, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the width. But what should we do that it remains the same on the smaller and the larger screen? Like, the percentages changes according to the parent. I want this child to be fixated to an exact width. Think like a developer. Like, you study a lot of things. You have to get search for that specific thing. Okay, let me give you a hint. The percentages, the unit that is specified in a percentages changes according to the parent. So we want a unit that doesn't concern the parent. We
You
studied
have to change the number of it.
yeah, the number of it, not just the number.
Is it 100?
No, not just the number. A unit. We've studied.
Did we do this before?
Yeah, we did this before. We certainly did this before. In fact, this was the first thing when we were discussing widths.
We have to put the
Exactly. Good. We have to put px. So what px is going to do is it's going to fix it no matter what. What we are saying here is that my table should be 400 pixels. Now it doesn't concern the parent. Now it's 400 pixels.
the fixed unit, right?
Exactly, yes. So basically, this is basically is going to fix the table. It doesn't consider the parent now. So if I were to save it and refresh it, this is 400 pixels. Even if I were to increase the size, it still remains 400 pixels. So if you want to fix something, no matter the size of the parent, you have to put what? Pixels as unit. Good. And if you want to change the child with the parent, what should you do?
Percentage.
Percentage. So what do you think is better, the percentage or the pixels?
Pixels.
So what if I were to open my website in a mobile? Wouldn't it destroy it? For example, my mobile is hardly, I guess, 300 px. The average size for mobiles are maybe 350 or 400 px. So if I were to write, let's say, 600 px for my table, what do you think would happen if I were to open it in my mobile?
It wouldn't be like ordinary.
Yeah, so the better way to do is put percentages. Yeah. Okay, did you guys get the concept?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to take this table and get this into the center.
Margin.
Very good, the margin. But I want to have margin from top and bottom. How should I write it?
Uh, is it auto?
It's auto for left and right. I want margin from top and bottom. So how should we write it? You're right, it is auto. But I want auto only from the left and right side. So I'll write 100px space auto. Okay, so what this is going to do, it is going to put margin of 100px from top and bottom and auto from left and right. So I want this to be in the center from left and right only, na? So that's why left and right is going to be auto and top and bottom are going to be 100px. Like I want space from the top. So now we have this table
Yeah.
like in the something like in the center. Okay?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
You put margin 100 px space auto, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yes.
two different things.
These are two different things, yes. Because this 100px refers to top and bottom only. Okay?
Okay.
And this auto refers to left and right only. Meaning that I want my table to be in the center from the x-axis, like from the left and right. This 100px would refer to I want this table to be in the center from top, no, not in the center. I want this table to have a margin of 100px from top and bottom. These two are different things for different directions. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. So now we want to have what do we want next? Now we have this table in the center, we have this width, and it's looking good. So what's the next thing?
The heading?
The heading, yeah. What should we do with the heading?
Background color?
Sorry?
The color?
The color, yeah. So how do we pick this color? This exact color?
You could use color pixel.
Colorzilla. Color picks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Colorzilla. There is another extension called Color Picker as well. But this one's really great, the Colorzilla. So copy it. And which thing should I target in order to get the color? Inside this part only.
Yeah.
So what should I target?
The head?
The head. Yeah, good. So dot head or hash head?
Dot.
Think again.
What was the other one?
The hash.
Hash.
Think again.
Hold on. Let me look at my notes.
I want to target this part. This is T head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we target it? Dot T head. I'm doing it on purpose.
Are you doing the table one, TH?
Yeah, no. I want to get all of it. All of this. All of this.
The border?
No.
Is it CR?
No. What?
Background
my question.
color?
I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna read my question. I want to get only this part. Like, can you see my cursor?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me get this. I
Oh, would it be
want to
color?
get only this part. So what is the name of this part?
The heading.
The no, not the heading. It's
Color?
the head. It's the head.
I said this.
You no. I still haven't repeated my question. My question
Okay.
was, how do I target this T head? Dot T head or hash T head? This was my question. And
Oh.
you said dot. And I said to think again. And then you said hash. And I said to think again. Again. So what do you think? How should we target this T head? Dot or hash?
Hash.
Think again. Hashes is for IDs. Dot is for classes. Is that right?
Yes.
So tell me, is this T head a class or an ID?
She has a class.
Think again.
Oh my
This
god,
is
I
a
just
class. This is a class. T head is simply an element, and you don't
Yeah.
put dots or hashes to target the elements. You just write their name.
So would it be
Yeah,
TR?
it's just going to be T head without any dot or hash. Just
Oh,
like this.
okay.
If I were to put dot, CSS is going to look for a class named T head, but there's no class that is named T head. T head is simply an element. Yes.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
if I were to put hash here, CSS is going to look for an ID that is named T head. So can we see any ID that is named T head?
No.
No, it's just simply an element. So you target element without any dots or without any hashes. Okay, you just write the name.
You just write T head?
Yeah, just T head. If I were to write dot, it means I'm targeting a class with the name of T head, and there is none.
Okay.
Okay, so T head.
Okay.
If you were to write simply T head, it would mean that you are looking for an element that is T head, like it's built in, and this T head is built in. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do no, no, what you want to do is what should you want to do with this T head?
give it a color.
Yeah, color or background color.
Background
Yeah,
color.
so you're gonna say background color, or you can just write background. Background and background color are going to do the same thing, but background is called a shorthand property. Like you have to just write background, and then simply paste it. Nah, I think I haven't picked the color right. This FFF represents a white color. I don't want the white color. I want this color. Yeah, it's good. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the next thing I should do?
The color of the
Yeah,
text?
good. The color of the text. So inside the T head, I'm gonna say the color should be white. What should I do next?
The font size?
The font size, is it big? Yeah,
Or
it's
is
big.
it
Yeah, it's big. It's big. So, but I want the font size to be increased for T head and T body for both of them. What should I do? Like I want to target all of them at the same time.
would it be auto?
No. I want to target them at the same time. Which element should I target? Like I want to get all of it. If you want to get all of
Um,
something now, you have to go inside their parent. So who's the parent of the body and the head?
The T head and TH?
No, who's the parent of T body and T head? Like I want to get everything. So I'm gonna just go in the table. So if you were to target the
Yeah, yeah.
parent, it's gonna target the children simultaneously. Okay. So I'm gonna say font size. Let's say I'm going to introduce you to a new unit. It's called rem. It's really easy to write, okay, and it's also less messy as compared to pixels. So if I were to write one rem, it basically means we have 16 pixels. Like one rem is equals to 16 pixels. Okay, so from now on we are going to use this rem a lot. This is basically, in order to have like easily, give measurements to something. So one rem is 16 pixels. How much is two rem?
32.
32, yeah. So I'm gonna write 1.5, so it's basically like 24, I guess. Yeah, it's good. Also, I want to change the font style as well. What was the property for changing the font style? And you guys used it in the Facebook project. By the way, the projects were really good. Hats off to you. Well done.
Yeah, it would be the font family.
Good. So inside the table, I'm gonna write font family, and the default is my guess area maybe. So I'm gonna write maybe that's sans serif. It's basically the free one. We are going to look for new ones as well, like thousands of them. We have free access to free thousand fonts. Yeah, it's good. But also let me.
The meeting is gonna finish in 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, let me start the new meeting and then we will discuss it again. Yeah. Okay, so let me decrease the size a bit. Let's say 1.2 RAM would be good. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so what's the next thing we should do? This is our table. Yeah.
We need to change the. We should do some padding.
Yeah, very good. Exactly. We should do some padding. So the padding. Where should we do the padding?
The T head.
Just the T head. Shouldn't we want it in the body as well?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
body too.
Yes. So there's one more thing. You cannot have padding inside the T head or the T body. You cannot have padding. The padding can be applied to single cells. Like if you want to have padding here, you are going to target what's the single cell? TH. Okay, padding cannot be applied to T head or T body. It's applied to the single cell. So if you want to have padding here, here, and here, we are going to target TH, the table heading. And if you want to have padding in these parts, it was table data. So we're going to target TD. Okay. So we're gonna.
Can you just explain that one more time?
Yeah, sure. So basically,
I didn't understand it.
yeah, sure. So basically, table doesn't allow you to put padding directly in the T head or T body. Table doesn't allow that. The table display. Okay. So if you want to have padding like this padding we have here, like one for junior and all of this inside the single cell, you have to put padding separately in TH and TD, like in the single cell. If you want to have padding like here and here and here and so on, you have to target TH and TD. You cannot target T head and T body because table does not allow it to have padding.
So you can't do it alone, but you can do it with T head and TH together.
Yeah, we can do that.
Inside.
Yeah, you cannot target T head and T body. You cannot put padding there or margin there. Okay. So if you want to have padding, you're gonna say TH, and we want to have padding in TD as well. Yes. So what we are going to do is there's a new concept. It's called combinators. Combinators. This concept is basically going to teach you what it's going to teach you how you can select multiple elements at the same time. Okay, I want to select TH and TD simultaneously. Like I want to get both of them. So what should I do? I'm going to write TH, comma, and then TD. What this going to do is it's going to get me TH and TD at the same time. Okay, so this concept is called combinators. Okay, basically it's gonna combine. That's why it's called combinators. Okay, so I want to have what? I want to have padding. Let's say I'm gonna say 1 RAM. How much is 1 RAM?
16.
Good, 16 pixels. So I'm gonna put this. I guess it's too much. So maybe let's say 0.7 RAM. Maybe. Yeah, now it's good. Okay. Also, I don't want to have this ugly border we have here. So what should we do? We should remove this border. Save it, refresh it, and now we don't have any border. So what we want to do is we want to have, yeah, we did have, no, do we have a border in the table or not? I think there's no border. Yeah, there's no border. but there is something like it's feeling like the table is coming out of the screen. Did we discuss this yesterday?
The shadow?
Yeah, the shadow. What's the property for that?
It was the dark shadow?
Yeah, box shadow. So where should we apply the box shadow? Inside the table or inside the head or inside the body?
Inside the body?
No, I want the shadow to be part of all of the table. So we are going to do inside the actual table, the whole parent. So I'm going to go inside the my tables class. It targets basically all of the table. So inside this table, we are going to say box shadow. So how many properties does it take from you?
One.
No,
Six. Oh, six.
not 6. Was it 6? Yeah, I guess it was 6. X, Y, spread, no, it doesn't take 6 properties.
Two.
No. We have X, how much shadow you want to spread on the X. Then we have Y.
Four.
Then we have blur. Then we have spread. And then we have the color of the shadow. So all together these are 5 properties it takes from you. So let's say I want to have 2 pixels. I want to move the shadow 2 pixels on the x-axis. Let's say 1 pixel on the y-axis. Maybe let's say I wanted to have a blur of 10 pixels. I want to blur the color for 10 pixels. Let's say 2 pixels it should spread, and let's say it should have let me give a red color first for you to see, and then I can change it. Can you see the shadow? But let me change the color to, let's say, light gray. I want to have a really light effect. Yeah, I now have this effect of this shadow. Can you see it, or should I zoom a bit? No, I'm not gonna zoom. It's gonna disturb me. Okay.
I could see it.
Okay. Great. Okay. Now there is a problem. There is a problem, and that problem is, can you see these lines here?
Yes.
Yeah. So does this table have it? It doesn't. So these are basically the default, basically spacing between the table rows, the table headings and table datas. So basically these are by default. We want to remove them. So how can we do that? There's a property of the table that does it for us. It's called border collapse. Okay, we want to collapse the border, like we want these two to join together. We don't want this space. So the property to remove this, it's called border collapse, and it should be applied to the table, directly to the table. Okay, we're going to say border collapse to be equal to collapse. Okay, the property is border collapse, and what we want to do is, I want to collapse it, like I want to collapse them together. If I were to refresh it now, where's the R? Are these joined now? Yeah. Why? Because all of them are now collapsed on top of each other. Okay?
I got that one.
Should I repeat it?
No, that's okay.
Okay, great. What other things can you see?
Some more light and darker.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly that. So basically some are darker and some are lighter. So basically this is called a striped table. Like just like the zebra has stripes, like one black and one white. So basically it's called the striped table. So how can we achieve that? Like I want the second row, the second row to have the dark color, and the fourth row to have the dark color. Only the second and the fourth row. How can we achieve that?
You have to use the classes you taught us.
Very good, exactly. We can do that. Let's do this first with that. So what should we do? We have to use classes. How should we use them?
You need to
You're right, you're right. We have to use classes, but how do we use it?
Do you have to set the background color?
Yeah, exactly. Good. First of all, we need to target this second one. Okay, the second one. So the second one is this one, this row. So I'm going to go here. I'm gonna give it a class, and let's say I'm going to say, can I say two? Like, can I say 2 second? Would it work?
No.
Why? Why would it not work?
That's just a number.
Yeah, good. The classes should not start with the number. They should always start with the letter. So let's say second, and let's say row. Copy it, and let's say I'm gonna go in the third, fourth row. I'm gonna give it a name of, let's name it FOURTH, fourth row. Okay, so now we have these two separately targeted. How do I call them in my style? Now I want to get them both at the same time. How do I do it? Like, I want to get the second and the fourth one together. I have given them the name just like you said. Now how do I call them from HTML to my CSS? How do we do it?
Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, I can give you the hint. Just like we've called the table here, like we've given it the class and then we've called it. Similarly, we have
Do you have to
given
call the
them,
table again?
no, not the table. We just want this one, these rows, and we have given them the classes just like you said. Like, if I want to get the second row, this one, we should call this
The
class.
TD?
No, no, no. I want to get all of the tr, all of this tr, the second. So what's the name of this
Mm,
tr, the second one?
dot second row, comma, dot third row.
Yes, good. Second row. I want to get the second row. So we are going to say dot second row. So what's this is going
Comma,
to do is, yes, comma, and then
dot third row.
dot third ka. It was
Fourth,
fourth
sorry,
row, yes.
fourth row.
It was fourth row. So what this is going to do is, it's going to get me the second row. And what is the second row? We have given this second tr the name of second row. So it's going to do what? It's going to get me the second row. And the fourth row, what was this fourth row? The last row, yes? And why did we
SUV,
put
yeah.
dots?
There's a class.
Yeah,
To
it was a class.
target.
Yeah, good, to target the class. So what we are going to do is, we're going to say background, and then columns, and then let me pick this color, whatever this color is, and then we're going to put it here, semicolon,
You
and
forgot the R and fourth.
where did I forget the R? Yeah, here, yeah. So good, fourth, where is it? Yeah, here it is. I'm going to go
Damn.
back to here. Can you see the difference now? It
Second.
targeted only the
Yeah.
second row and the fourth row. Okay? Also, we can do it another way as well. Should we do that as well? Okay.
Yes, please.
What we're going to say is, we're going to say tr, and then we are going to call our pseudo class. Do you remember the pseudo classes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, there's another pseudo class which is going to target the specific thing you want it to target. We're going to say tr, and then columns, and then we'll say nth of dash type. Like, what it's going to do is, the tr is going to get all of the table rows. Okay, it's going to get all of the table rows, and then this nth of type is going to specify which number of row do I want. Like, it's going to tr is going to get me what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to get me all of the table rows. I want this second row. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say 2. So what it's going to do is, it's going to get me the second row. Okay. Let me give it a color, and then I'm going to explain it to you again.
Okay, sir.
Let's say, because sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it wants to work. So let's say I'm gonna say for the time being, let's say save it, refresh it. Can you guys see it? Now it targeted only the second row. Let me do that again.
Yeah.
So if I were to write, let's say if I were to write here to be, let's say TR, and then I'm gonna say, let's say background to be red, what would happen? What's going to happen?
The whole
That is
background will be red.
Exactly, good. Every TR is going to be red because this TR is going to select everything. Refresh it. So if you refresh it here, everything is going to be red. Yes, because this TR selects everything. But what we want to do is we want to get the specific TR from this list. So we are going to use what? We are going to use the pseudo class. And what is that pseudo
Yeah.
class?
NTH.
NTH
Dash of
of
dash and then
type.
type. Good. And then after that we're going to say parentheses and the number of TR we want, like we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to target which one? The second one.
2.
Okay. Now it targets only the second one. Similarly, we can specify here, let's say even. What's this going to do is, what do you think this is going to
Uh,
do?
2 and 4, the even numbers.
2
Yeah,
and
we're
4.
gonna get
Yep.
only the 2 and 4. And what if we
Dang.
were to say, let's say odd? What's going to happen?
It will
1
be
and
all
3.
of them.
The odd one. It's
Oh
treating
no, the
zero
odd
as
numbers.
it's treating zero as odd as well. Okay? All those zero is an even number, I guess. Or is it not? Is zero an even number or odd number?
So
Say
sorry, what did
what?
you say?
Is
Whole
zero
number.
odd? Okay, odd.
Whole number.
Okay. So we don't want it to be red, we want it to be like this. So let me copy this color, and instead of red we're gonna say, so what do you think, this one is easy or the previous one we did, like give the classes and then
This
call the
one.
classes? This
This
one, yeah.
one.
This is an optimized approach. Okay, and we have to move towards optimized approaches because it's going to make your code less complex and it's going to make your code faster, website faster.
So when I have a question.
Yeah, yeah,
So when you write TR, right?
yeah,
You have to when you put NTH of type,
yeah,
and then you just have to put the row of what you're targeting, like then you can change that row color.
yeah.
Just the color or the fonts
No,
and
no, we
stuff
can
too.
change anything we want, like every property we want, any property we want.
But you wrote color, that's why it's only color,
Yeah,
right?
because I written
If we did
background.
font, it would be like font
Yes,
size and stuff.
yes. Let me demonstrate it for you. Let's say I'm gonna say
Okay.
font size, and let's say I'm gonna say 2 rem. How much is 2 rem? 32. So it targeted only the one we wanted it to target. Okay, you can change any property you want.
As long as you're using the TR
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay. Also, I want to change the color for these ones as well. What should I do?
Color.
Yeah, good. Color, and then I want to have this color. So where is my color Zilla? Here it is. Save it. Refresh it. Also, these are bold. If you were to pay a little attention to it, these are bold as compared to the other ones. Yes? What's the property for that? To make it bold. Yeah, yeah. I guess
the font weight
yeah, the font weight.
and the spelling.
Yeah, good. Font weight to be bold. Where is this R? I guess I need to make it. Sorry?
I have a question.
Yeah,
For the color,
yeah,
you know how you just pasted the color or whatever?
yeah.
Why did it only just do 2 and 4? Could you put even on top?
Yeah, that's why it did only on the 2 and 4. Why? Because these 2 and 4 are your even numbers. So if you were to change it, let's say only the 3, what do you think would happen if I were to do this? Like if I were to put here 3, what would happen?
Or the third row?
Yeah, it's only going to affect the third row. Now if I were to put odd here, what do you think would happen?
1 and 3?
0, 1 and 3. It's treating 0 as odd as well. I don't know why, but it's treating it as odd. Okay, so it depends on what you have specified inside these brackets. It's going to affect only that. So the font weight didn't change. Why is that? Let me go with bolder. Save it. Where is that? Oh yeah, there is a problem. There is a problem, and that problem is you cannot change the font weight of table row, just like you cannot change the padding of that. Okay, so we have to target that, the separate cells separately. How do we do that? Like, how do we target the separate rows, separate cells? So we're gonna say what?
You,
TD, yeah,
the type.
good, the TD, and then of, and then
Type.
good, type, and then which one we want to target? The even ones, yeah, the even ones. Now it's going to target only the table data of the even ones, and we'll write font weight to be, let's say, bolder, not just bold. Nah. And now it targets every one of them. And why is that? No, it targets only the. Oh, okay. टीवी सबके साथ है, और ये कॉलम्स को ट्रीट कर रहा है सिर्फ, ये सिर्फ कॉलम्स को ट्रीट कर रहा है, ये रोज को ट्रीट नहीं कर रहा. So I guess अगर हम, let's not do this, let's target the classes. So what was the class for the second and third one? Yes. Dot second row, and then dot
Fourth row.
fourth row. FOURTS. Now it's going to get only the second and the fourth row.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you know how last time you forgot the R? So if you forget that, would it still work?
So if I were to get the R, would it work? This is your
Mm-hmm.
question, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to work because there is no class with the name of fourth row, so it's not going to be applied. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna say
अच्छा
fourth
सर,
row.
ये जो एना टाइप आपने बताया, ये सिर्फ टेबल में यूज कर सकते हैं
No,
कि कहीं
no,
भी यूज कर
ये
सकते
कहीं पे भी यूज कर सकते हैं, किसी भी एलिमेंट्स के ऊपर यूज कर सकते हैं,
हैं?
कहीं भी. इनफैक्ट ये जब हम व्हेन वी गोना मूव टुवर्ड्स द बिगर वेबसाइट, जब हम जाएंगे इंशाल्लाह वी गोना मूव टुवर्ड्स रियली फास्ट, क्योंकि अब वो टाइम आ चुका है, ऑलमोस्ट वो टाइम आ चुका है. तो ये हर जगह यूज़ होगी. इनफैक्ट ये बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ होगी, खाली ये नहीं, बहुत सारी और भी छोटे क्लासेस में यूज़ होंगी. Okay, so now we have this as bold, but we don't want it to be really bold. Let's say we're gonna say normal. It's gonna have, no, normal isn't the case. Let's say you can also specify numbers here. So let's say I'm gonna say 400. Maybe let's say 500. Maybe let's say 600. But 600 is really bold. So let's say maybe 550 maybe. 550 is also bold. Maybe let's say 500, but 500 isn't bold. So what should we do? Maybe let's say 520. 520 isn't working. 550 is good. Okay, let it be that way. Okay, so what else do we have? What else do we have?
Border.
Yeah, good. The border. Where do we have the border? Where do we have the border? Like, is the border like in all directions?
Like all around.
Like, is it all around or no?
It's not within the bottom.
Yeah, it's only in the bottom. Exactly. Good. So we're gonna say basically the border is inside the table. So we're gonna say we're gonna go inside the table, and we'll write here border dash bottom. So what's this going to do is it's going to affect only the border from the bottom. Okay. So how many properties does this border bottom takes? Just like the border, it's just a border but only from the bottom. So how many properties does it take? You told me yesterday when I asked you about the border, how many properties did border take? It takes how much properties? It takes 3 properties. First one is the thickness of the border.
Oh, yes, yes.
Second one
The
is the
bottom.
style, yes, and the last
And
one
its
is the
color.
color, yeah. And let me copy this, paste it.
3 or 4?
It takes three. Let me zoom it a bit. Yeah. Okay. Also, I guess no, not also. I thought it was rounded, but it was not. But I want to make it rounded. What should I do? Like I want to make but the borders to be rounded.
Border radius.
Good. Border radius maybe let's say 10 px. काम नहीं करेगा. You have to do it separately on the the table headings and table row body. Sorry, the table headings and the table data. जो लंबा काम हो जाएगा. So let's leave it for the time being. Okay, there's another thing. And what is that other thing? If you were to see here closely, we have this border here. Yes, we have this border around every TR. What should we do?
Which border?
Wait, let me zoom
It's
it a bit.
under the numbers.
Can you see this? This one?
The gray line?
Yeah, the gray line. So, how do we put it? Like the border is
Um,
around every TR. So we are going to target every TR. How can we do that? How can we target every TR? Like all of the TRs.
What was that?
Just by writing TR.
Just write TR.
Good chance.
Good.
Mm.
So it's gonna target every TR, every table row. So we're gonna say border. I just want a border of 1 pixels. I want it to be a solid, and I want it to have a color of light gray.
But I have a question.
Yeah,
If you write open bracket TR close bracket, then it
yeah.
would just target just that one TR, right?
No, it's gonna target every TR. If I
Even
were,
if it's in the bracket.
even if it's in the bracket, you mean if you were to write TR and then curly braces, how many TRs is going to target? Is that your question?
No. If you like TR and then close TR with the brackets.
Wait, let me. If you were to write, let's say TR this and then
No, open bracket
no,
first.
no, no. You cannot use opening bracket and closing brackets here. The reason
Okay.
is this syntax is CSS. You cannot write opening and closing. You were talking about tags or brackets?
Like the I think tags probably.
No, no, no. You cannot write tags here. No, no. Tags are basically
Okay.
the syntax of HTML. You have to write it like this, like the tag name and then whatever you want to do. Okay? Save
All
it.
right.
Let me refresh it. Again, it's not going to work because border doesn't directly work on the TRs. So what we can do is we want to target TDs only. But I still don't have the border. 1 pixel solid because the spellings are wrong. Can you see the borders?
yeah.
But I only want the borders from the bottom. What should I do?
So do you do
We just did it like
yeah
maybe 2 minutes
the
ago, a few
border
minutes ago.
bottom?
Yeah, good. Border, bottom. Save it, refresh it, and now it's just going to have the borders from the bottom. Okay?
We, you do it, we can do it as fast as you take time.
Yeah, it's completely
For the
fine.
answers,
It is completely fine, but for the
we're looking at our notes.
it's totally fine, but for the timing it is fine. When we maybe reach second or third month, I want you to be like really swift. If I were to ask a question, I want you to answer right away, and it should be like that. The way you guys are going, it's just really great to be honest. Like I have students, like I've taught like a lot of students, and you guys are really great. If you were to compare them, compare you guys to those guys, you guys are really good for someone who's just starting. So hats off. Okay, so any problem with this table part?
Yeah, what was border collapse you told us
Yeah, yeah,
about?
sure, sure. So the border collapse property is, if I were to remove it and if I were to refresh it, now can you see these white spaces you have between all of the columns and cells? Can you see these white spaces?
Yes.
Wait, let me change the background of the body so it will be easy for you to see. Let me target the body, and I'm gonna say the background for the body is going to be, let's say, black. Save it, refresh it. Now can you see these lines, these black lines between
Yeah.
these tables? So basically these are the borders that
Mm-hmm.
HTML by default defines for the table. It's the default borders that HTML applies. Okay, so we don't want this border, like I don't want to have these borders. So what's the property for that? If you want to
Mm-hmm.
override this default borders, the property is border dash collapse. What it's going to do is it's going to collapse these borders, like it's going to merge these cells together. Like what you see the
Okay.
difference here between these two cells is going to collapse it, it's going to remove it. So border collapse, and
So
then
it's
back.
going to make the borders collapse into a single border?
Yes, exactly. Good. Very good.
That's it.
So we're gonna say
Okay.
collapse. Save it and then refresh it. Now you don't. Now you
Yeah.
can't see the borders because it's collapsed. So let me remove this
Yeah.
black background as well. So now we have this. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions about it? About the table?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next class, inshallah, we'll have on Monday. It's going to be really important. Like it's so important. If you were not to get that class, it won't be. It's not gonna work any further. Why is that? Because the topic we are going to discuss it's called divs or divisions. Okay, so you can call it the backbone for your websites. Okay, because I think you guys did used it when you submitted the second assignment. You used the diffs, and I guess if you were to use it, if you've used it, knowing what you were
Yeah.
doing, you would know that it's really important. So basically, these serves as the backbone for your layout. The topic we are going to discuss next in our class. So I want you to have a really fresh mind, and I want you to do the task I'm going to assign you after ending this class. And I want to also have to, the table part is really important. Why? Because we have a lot of tags in tables, and the topic we're going to discuss next involves a lot of tags. Okay, like really nested tags. So I want you to have a really good grip on the table part. Okay, the table tags and the styling. So the first homework for you guys is this one, the table you just created, this one, and I'm gonna send the pictures for the assignments in your group. Okay. So any questions?
Okay. You want us to create this again? You don't want? Do you want it exactly this table?
And no, I want you to change what your creativity says. Like what your creativity allows you, do it, but don't make it exactly the same. Okay, maybe let's say
You
you
mean
can
to just
have
use all the
different colors
tags we
for it.
discussed, right?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So any more questions?
No.
Okay, great. So maybe inshallah we'll meet on next Monday with some really great topics, like really great topics. Okay, so I want you to have complete these assignments I'm gonna assign you after in the class. Okay, thank you. Inshallah we'll meet on Monday. Allah Hafiz.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Allah
Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Thank
Allah
you.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
Assalamualaikum.